Good afternoon. And with almost 45% of our over 80s now vaccinated and almost 40% of care home residents, we are steadily protecting those most at risk to stop new variants coming in. But I think possibly it'd be best.
But I think the vaccines themselves, and this is what I think is really important, is the new types of vaccine, particularly the messenger RNA vaccines, are really quite easy to adjust to changes in the virus. And that is a big change in vaccine technology. It's a very important advance. It's essentially days to make a new starting point, weeks probably to get to a new vaccine if it's needed, provided the regulators are happy with the approach. But that is very different from the past. And it's worth also remembering that flu changes year on year, and that's why you need a different flu vaccine each year. So it's a similar sort of problem that we have going forward. As the viruses change, how do you make sure that the vaccine adjusts accordingly over years? And I think it's likely that the vaccine that we have now is going to protect against, say, the UK variant, and is going to provide protection against, I suspect, the other variants as well. The question is just to what degree the efficacy might change a bit, and that's what we've got to find out. But I think the vaccines themselves, and this is what I think is really important, this is not a natural peak that's going to come down on its own. It's coming down because of the measures that are in place. Take the lid off now, this is going to boil over for sure, and we'll end up with a big problem. And that is a lesson, I think, about making sure it's all cooled down enough before you get to that position. So I don't think we should view the peak as a natural turning point in the disease. It is a suppressed peak that we need to keep on top of.
A particularly tough time now, and actually even in London.
But the general principle that things are going to improve in the spring, I still think that is very likely. Having the new variant makes that harder. There's no doubt about that. But I think what has happened over the last 3 weeks is we've shown that with everybody working together, we can beat this virus with the current measures, and the vaccine will now help us to do that. And hopefully, increasingly, the vaccine will take the heavy lifting, and less of this will be requiring people to do things.